good getting you to do all the high performance driving.
Hey, what?
It is good to get you to do all the high performance driving.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
That way, if you got a ticket, you're older.
Yeah,
you're less likely to make your court date.
Yeah.
Howdy. We bought another car. And for the first time on Heathen's garage, it's not a piece of junk. It's like a real, done, nice car. Should probably just show you, hey?
It's nice enough that it's kept inside. See?
This, folks, is a 1964 Plymouth Savoy. My dad's, actually. Well, it used to be my dad's till now it's mine. I've been holding out on you, if we're being honest. I bought it a couple of years ago. Well, I started buying it. It cost real money for a guy like me. So we've been paying for it, but now that it's, past the halfway paid off mark, it's time to start using it. We bought this car, 2 years ago as our plan B for Miles Mayhem. But we haven't needed to use it yet. And I'm hoping we still have to use it this year, but it also only got driven one time last year. The fuel's getting pretty old, and it's time to take it out for a drive. So I put a battery charger on it yesterday. I've never started it without my old man here. And so we'll just hope it goes well. We're going to pick him up immediately, but first we have to get it started and out of here. Go get some fuel, give it a wash, and then we're going drag racing, because that's what we do.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to try and remember everything here. I've driven the car once. I don't think there's anything too weird. Had a battery charger on it all night. So hopefully we just turn the key, pump it a couple times, and it starts. It is carbureted. Okay, we have some lights. No go yet. There's choke, I think. Yeah, choke. Here we go. There we go. We got some signs of life. Cold, and it hasn't been started in probably a year. So we're doing good that it started. Alright, now close the choke a little bit. Look at all that oil pressure, eh? 75 pounds. I think it's pretty healthy. Now what we have here is a big block of the 440 cubic inch variety. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's got a little bit of camshaft in it. It's got a little bit of headwork in it. And it's got a balanced rotating assembly in it. It's pretty good. Belts, so that's good. And we have this, you see this, we got one of these. This is my least favorite kind of shifter in the world because I can never figure out how to get it back into reverse or park, but I do know how to get it into drive, and that's the direction we're going, so away we go. Now, we're on gravel roads, okay? So, we're gonna just sort of idle over to my place. We're gonna get some air in the tires. And we're gonna grab a camera, because I forgot my camera. Other than the GoPro that is currently filming. But that's not, like, it's not what we're going for. I want a real camera. Now, what's kind of neat is because this is like a sorted out car that's already done. Did you see how I didn't have to fix anything before going for a drive? That might be a Heathen's garage first, you know? Now I want to tell you more about the car, but I'm gonna wait until I pick up my dear old dad, or as you may know him, Pops. And maybe he can give a better, thorough answer on everything about this car, because other than it's got a Gear Venders, a big block 440, and a torqueflight 727 transmission. I know it's got an 8 3/4 in the rear because I stole the center section out of it once. I don't know very much about it. I did get to ride in it when I was a kid though. Like this, I've known this car for as long as I've been alive. We also need to do a thorough fluids check when we get to my place, because I checked engine oil and transmission. I didn't check the coolant or the brake fluid. Like, I kind of forgot there was other fluids other than engine oil and transmission, basically. So everything else is not checked yet. Well, we drove the 3 miles home. We filled the tires up with air. We checked the remaining fluids. There's nothing left to do but go get some fuel, give it a wash, and go pick up Dad. We're about to hit the pavement. For the first time in a while, at least a year for this car. And I think my first time ever driving it without my Pops present. It's quite a bit of car. Good news is, it's Sunday morning and there's no traffic. Here we go, onto the highway. Seems to work. Gear Venders works. Other than I don't know how to operate a Gear Venders properly, because it's got auto drive and overdrive. It's got a switch on the thing and a switch on the floor, and I don't know what does what. So for now, I'm just not going to touch it anymore. And, well, I almost got a squirrel there. Gopher or something. Some sort of creature. I remember growing up, my mom wouldn't ride in this because it was so loud. I'm pretty sure it's quieter than my 3/4 ton, if we're honest. Speedometer doesn't work. That's not a huge surprise. Brakes are good. They are drum all the way around. I know that much about it. Now, one nice thing about this gas station, and it's why I came here, it's got 94, which will hopefully even out some of the old stuff that's in there. And it seems like maybe the gas gauge did work and it's only at a 1/4 tank because it's taking lots. Now, despite this being my first solo drive in the Plymouth, it was certainly not my first time washing it, as I had washed the car plenty of times growing up. Though not for punishment or part of chores, it was kind of a treat even back then. And this was pretty reminiscent of that. Okay, car is washed, fueled up, we are on our way to pick up Pops. Incidentally, even the wipers work. Look at this! Isn't that cool? Pretty neat! And the fuel gauge does work, by the way. Like, it only reads 3/4, but that's a heck of a lot more than reading nothing all the time. I'm accustomed to driving stuff that people look at when I drive by, but they have a different expression on their face when I drive by in most of the stuff I look at. Now people look at it and they smile instead of being like, ugh. That's interesting. It's a good car to people watch in. Now, what I didn't know is that the trunk was full of stuff, so that's good. Here, you hold this.
Yes. You already put away a chair, which is a lot.
Well, that's stuff from Grandpa's.
Ooh, this is a lot.
I didn't know anything.
Hey, you want the tools back here, E.T.? E.T.? You want the stuff in here?
I don't want anything in there.
Sure you don't want the tools?
I don't want anything.
Extra tools.
Was the tire pressure okay?
I had to fill up one front.
No, it's not too bad. I have to confess to not doing a proper weather strip job.
I'm not overly concerned about the weather strip.
I wasn't either. I figured it was a summer car. It's still not that noisy for wind noise.
I didn't think it was noisy at all. I think it's quieter than my 3/4 ton, if we're honest. So with the camera rolling, I'm going to ask you questions about this car.
All right.
Because I know very basics about it, but that's it. First, the question is, how does the gear vendors work? Do I need to turn it on every time? Does it automatically work?
If you leave it on, it'll be on, and if you leave it off, it'll be off.
Okay. Now, so like right now, it's not on, I assume. There's no light on.
There should be a light.
Okay, what does auto drive do? Does that just, it'll still go into overdrive, or it doesn't go into overdrive?
It will shift into up or high and low automatically.
In every gear, or just in 3rd gear?
Pretty much every gear, actually.
Oh, so it'll be like having a 6-speed.
Yeah, it would, but they kind of overlap. I was thinking, and I talked to you about that. If you have a short course, like an 8th mile,
Yeah.
it's great possible that you'll be able to do your 3rd shift into 2nd high rather than into 3rd gear, because 3rd gear is not going to do you any favor.
Isn't this thing sort of made of torque, though?
It does have fairly good torque, yeah. I guess that Gear Venders Overdrive is good for 1,500 horsepower, so it should be adequate.
I expect so for a while, anyways.
It has fluid that has to be looked at periodically, but it doesn't seem to have any leak of any kind. So now, if you push the button at the bottom, no, you have to hit a little harder than that.
No, I got a light now.
Oh, you do? All right.
Now that's off, on, auto drive.
Okay, it's in auto drive then.
What's auto drive do for you? Oh, there it goes. I can't tell if that's 3rd gear or if that's overdrive, though.
I would suspect that you're
That was neutral. Found that one. I do not like that shifter at all.
It's a little awkward, and especially if you're backing up.
Yeah, it's gonna go. I'm gonna find something different.
I can't even recall where that came from, you know?
Steven.
Oh.
It was in the green Dakota when the green Dakota had an automatic in it.
I see. Well, it did the job, but like you said, a little bit of alteration might be in order.
Yeah, I don't think it. I think you'd never accidentally hit reverse because you can't even get reverse when you want to.
No, you won't get into reverse. It will go into neutral though if you go too low.
Yeah. The 727s hate that when you bump it into neutral.
Does the 727 do what?
Does the 727 blow up if you put it into neutral at high speed? Do they get upset about that? Like a turbo 400 won't stand that. Putting into neutral.
I'm more concerned about the engine, but
no, I don't mean like with throttle applied. But say you've done your run, you let off the gas, like
and put it in neutral.
Yeah, like turbo 400s don't like that at all. That's a game end.
Yeah, I see. Well,
I don't know if 727s
this
are the
early
same.
torqueflight, and I'm not 100% sure. I think they took the rear pump out of it, but they had two fluid pumps.
Okay.
The front one and a rear one. As a result, you could push start it.
Okay.
Which is not typical for an automatic anymore. But if that was still in there, I can't imagine it would do you any harm because it's still circulating fluid, even if you're coasting.
Right.
The other thing is that the rear pump also acted like a really good brake.
Oh, like an engine brake.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another
gear.
gear.
Overdrive.
Yeah.
Not as though it doesn't
It's not a
shift hard.
smooth shift, exactly, is it?
Well, it's good for a 1500, I suppose. It thinks that this is not a power shift.
How do we get the air movement in here? It's
Well, if you
that's choke. Is there a door you pull open or anything?
no, I don't believe so, but it should blow a little bit of cold air for you. Sometimes defrost is a better bet.
I'll tell you what we
There
got.
is no heat hooked to the.
We have vent windows. It's fine.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not altogether sure if that blower really blows very well.
Oh well. That's what vent windows are for.
Well, that's the nice part about it, isn't it? How's your alternator? Looks good.
Yeah, charging. I got about, I don't know, 12 gallons into it at 94. So
that's good stuff.
yeah, well at least there's something in it, so it isn't all 2-year-old fuel.
Well, 12 gallons is probably all it ever held. Maybe 15.
US gallons.
Oh, Imperial, I was thinking.
Yeah, I know. You always think in imperial gallons.
With these slippery torque converters, I really like to have a throttle.
You like which?
I like to put a throttle in, a cable throttle,
Okay.
so you can pull it out and just hold
Oh,
it.
yeah.
It's like cruise control. Of course, you put the brakes on and it responds really well because torque converter just allows a little bit of reduction in speed. So it gives you the chance to push the throttle in again if you had to in an emergency. But it really was kind of nice to have a throttle.
Like as a cruise control.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, this engine, it wouldn't slow down much for hills or anything.
No, expect not. What's the story on the engine? What's the bottom end about? Gas crank, steel crank, aftermarket crank?
It's an original 71 engine, but it had a steel crank. The crank was damaged, so they put a cast crank in it.
Oh, okay.
They paid $100 for the crank, brand new.
Yeah.
So it's a cast crank, but with a standard transmission, it might have been an issue. But with an automatic, it never would have been. And you have to put a lot of horsepower in it to break a cast crank.
Yeah, that's not usually the first thing that goes. What's it got for rods in it?
Yeah, stock rods, but they're polished. Yeah, they're all grounded, shiny like mirror.
Oh, okay.
They did that just to keep the oil from accumulating.
Oh, okay.
I did it myself the first time and took them to the machine shop and he said, "You want us to do that right?" And by the time they got done, it looked like they'd taken an 1/8 inch off the seats.
So they were light too.
They were light, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that shop painting? Is that what they call that, or is that different?
which part?
What's shop painting?
Shot painting?
Yeah.
Well, they use like steel
Okay.
ball, and they hit it with as if it was a sandblaster,
Okay.
and it just rattles the surface real good and makes little tiny dents in it.
Yeah.
And it relieves the tension on the surface of the metal.
And that makes them stronger?
Makes them so that they're less prone to cracking.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of a howl on the backlash.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that was my fault.
What gears are in this?
I think these ones are the 391s.
Oh, okay. Does it have cop car brakes, or what's it got for brakes? Because they're all drums.
The drums, yeah.
Yeah.
They're out of a Challenger.
Oh, okay. I thought they were cop car brakes.
No. They're 11 inch, I believe.
Okay.
And I think the stocks are 10s.
So they are upgraded, but they're still drums.
Yeah.
All right.
They seem to stop pretty well. The weakness of drums is if you do multiple passes,
Yeah.
and you really have to hit the brakes at the end.
I don't expect today that will be an issue.
Probably not. What I really liked about having these Mickey Thompson street tires is that you could take off from an intersection really hard, but there would be no tire spin. As long as you didn't do a brake stand or something.
It doesn't have a line lock in it, does it?
No. I don't usually preload it very much, or I didn't. The water on the front tires sometimes lets it. That we didn't hit it though.
No, everything's fine.
The water on the front tires allows them to slip sometimes.
Because it makes a bunch of drips right in front of you. Yeah.
So sometimes you drive around it and back into it. You probably did that too.
Usually I just roll right through it. But I had like racy tires on the front of the Dakota.
Oh yeah.
Like the only thing that I've raced lots is the Dakota and the Jeep. And the Jeep obviously we go around because it's all-wheel drive. And the Dakota is, well, it had like bias fronts, like the really narrow ones. So it didn't really matter. It didn't collect the water.
I usually just kind of clean them off.
Yeah.
Go in the water and clean them off a little bit. But as far as the Big Smoky, I didn't bother. It seemed like the traction was pretty close to what it needed.
What were the 60-foot times?
Probably close to 1.9 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's not quite where you want to be.
No. It could go for a 1.6, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit of encouragement. I did a lot of work to get the Holly working, but it never did come as easily as the Edelbro.
That's what's on it now, yeah.
And this one is a little bit bigger, because that was just a 750. This is an 850.
Okay.
It did seem like it disliked having a few more CFM.
What's it got for pistons in it? What's it got for pistons in it?
They're flat top.
Okay.
And they're just like we brought it up. Actually, I didn't use the pistons. They're forged,
Yeah.
but I didn't use the pistons to bring up the compression because we had already shaved the heads and the manifold. So that's what's up the compression a little bit. Figured it came out with about 9-to-1. So
Okay.
it could have used a 10,
Yeah.
11-to-1. What it really needs, probably a set of heads. That would wake it up.
It feels pretty woke already.
Well, sometimes a person's happy with what there is.
We'll slow down for the the railroad tracks this time.
Yeah, the racetrack.
And the heads you ported.
They're ported and
They're 906
just
head or?
208 valves, like they're not oversized.
Okay.
208 and 188, I think. Or no,
160?
no, bigger than 160.
Okay. 178? 188? 194?
No,
Okay. I've listed all the valve sizes I know.
As the wind noise died down a little bit, the differential backlash noise became a little more apparent.
Yeah, that's a little annoying, the backlash, but it was just that the pinion wasn't set exactly right.
Yeah.
But it was good enough to keep it under load. It's fairly quiet.
Yeah. Your pattern was reasonable, acceptable, I gather.
Looked good. Yeah, I left it alone.
I guess I've made a set or two like that as well. That were noisy when I was done with them. You know what camshaft it had, or approximate specs?
I'll have to give it a little thought here. It's a 210 lift.
210?
No, 410 lift. And let's see,
How about 510? Would you accept 510?
510 lift.
Alright, let's go 510.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it for a while, so all the numbers are mixed up with differential gear ratios.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it's got, I think it's just like the duration is a little bit shorter than the original one that we put in. I think it had a 294. It was a split duration actually, originally, and I gave it lots of bumpy idle, but I don't think it really gave it the performance. I figured that Mopar performance had a better offering.
Okay.
So I think the lift or the duration was maybe in 284 degrees.
Okay. That sounds like a Mopar cam.
Yeah. But with a 510 lift, it can take the air in.
Yeah. It's flat tappet, hydraulic. What's the story on that?
Hydraulic.
Okay.
But they're adjustable.
Okay. So check them once in a while. But for the most part, they're fine.
Yeah, I don't really think anything unless you had if you had one start to come loose, you know you got a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're probably putting a camshaft in it.
Yeah. I was looking for some oil with zinc in it, or break-in oil or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did put synthetic in it for a while, but I had an additive with it.
What's it like to shift at? 55, 6, 65?
Yeah, I don't think I'd go too much higher, but I think it's gone to 65.
Okay.
I think with the rods like they are, that might be pushing it.
Okay.
But it's got the red line there where it needs to be.
Okay.
But I've looked down once in a while and thought, whoops.
That happens.
Yeah. It's going to short shift on you. Because the original transmission, the push button one,
Yeah.
we had a lightweight governor on it. So it would actually go pretty well where it needed to be, like 50, 55, 5800
Yeah.
before it shifted automatically, which was kind of nice. And I got better times back then too. The motorhome transmission, well, it'll probably shift at 45
Yeah, if you're lucky.
if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So that's why the manual shifting, I guess. Well, let's see, when did I get this car?
That's a good question. When did you get that car? This car?
It was about the time Steven was born.
Like 1981.
Well, I think probably it was closer to maybe 83 or 84.
Okay.
I thought maybe he'd be interested in doing some work on it, but maybe he was a little too young back then.
At 3, he wasn't interested in cars yet?
Kind of worked up an appetite, but he didn't really ever get a chance to work on this one.
Yeah.
For those keeping track, if my dad bought this car in the mid-80s, that means he was about the same age I was when I bought this car, which is kind of a happy coincidence.
But the engine, I'm not exactly sure what car it came out of. Except that it was a 781 and it was a steel crank. And it went in for a pour to Lee Brothers from, well, it wasn't OK Tire then, but it was
5 sales and
Live
service.
Sales, yeah.
Yeah.
So they sent it in to Lee Brothers, and Of course, the cost of a core would be $100, but I think that they let me have it because I asked them to do the machine.
Oh yeah.
So I asked them to do it, and I thought, well, can I pay you off $100 a month?
Mm-hmm.
So it took about 14 months to pay it off.
Yeah.
But eventually I got it paid down.
This is a good car. Like, it just drives down the road.
It seems to.
It's not spinning a million RPM. It's not too loud.
It doesn't wander.
No, it drives nice. Like, it's just going down the road.
Yeah. Well, it's not for want of parts and wheel alignments, so
Yeah.
that's why.
Does the Gear Vendors downshift for you? Like, will it go out of
Automatically?
3
Yeah,
high?
it does.
Okay, I haven't seen that happen. Unless it just happened now.
You're
when
on
it shifted.
automatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you drop after, when it drops, then you'll hear it clunk.
Oh yeah, there it is. But it's basically not till the coast that it happens.
You'll probably want to turn the Gear Vendors off, lest it shift by itself in automatic.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, like 43 is all you're getting.
I wasn't into it all the way either, but yeah. That was the 50 zone that I did that in, and
Well, you
that's a
won't get
police
much more
officer.
than 45, yeah.
Oh, just
County.
town of Rimby. Phew! That was a close one.
Yeah. Wrong guy to come toward.
Yeah, no. Like I was saying, if there's nobody in front of you, there's no speed limit, but there was somebody in front of me who was almost important enough to make that a bad day.
Looks kind of early. Lots of campers, no cars.
We are pretty early, but I couldn't remember if it was like racing starts at 10 and they've already done everything and you should be registered and teched and everything.
Oh, I see.
Or if it was like, show up at 10 and then we'll start racing by noon.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the rules were, so I figured I better just get there early. And I thought if we had any problems, at least we had a chance that way.
Right. Notice not much skidding, when it goes around the corner, even with the spool.
Yeah. Oh, it is a spool in the back. I couldn't
Yeah,
remember.
that's what I thought. Maybe if you have a pot and sure grip laying around, it might not be a bad idea. Everything works.
Horn works.
Okay.
I do have a sure grip. Even the AM radio, eh?
Even a radio.
I don't think that could have been a better
Probably a
tune that it was playing.
No, it was probably a transistor there. This one. The tune?
Yeah.
It sounded like a hymn.
Yeah, it was. All is well with my soul, I'm pretty sure is what it was saying.
It's a little over
We missed
now.
it. It only took 10 seconds and it was over.
You got the last 10 seconds. Just enough to know that all was well with your soul.
Yeah.
Yeah, that practicing shifting might be a real good idea. Because it is a little... You have to pull the button for the first shift, don't you?
Pull the button for the first shift. I don't really remember how that works.
Have you tried the manual shifting?
No.
That might be a tricky thing.
But like I've manually shifted other cars. Not this one. 1, 2. Oh, you pull it for. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
see how-
terrible.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I hate this shifter. It's the worst.
Yeah.
I want warranty.
You might end up going right through it if you're not careful.
Will it finish the 8th mile in second gear?
That's what I didn't know. That's why I said maybe that overdrive would be a reasonable shift, but you want it to go when you want it to go, not when it wants to go.
Yeah, you'd tag the button and hope that it worked in time, but I think it's too slow to react.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just put it together, so.
Well, we're sure going to pit a long ways away.
Well, pretty well here, I guess. Nice to get a front row seat, though.
Yeah. Not so bad, is it? We're way back though. That's too bad. Well, now that we've arrived and it's starting to rain on us, we are gonna go see if we can get through tech. Because you never know, maybe the rain will not appear badly enough that the racing's canceled. But we will see.
Now I should have made an effort to get a few more pictures, but we'd actually pitted directly across from another 64 Plymouth, which was pretty neat in my opinion.
Well, we have passed tech with flying colors. However, it is not raining, but just wet enough that we are not racing yet. So we're gonna wander around and look at some cars and take some pictures, I guess. And we'll let you know on a progress update when the time comes. Well, if I'm honest, this doesn't look very promising. But I am hungry and I haven't had any coffee yet, so at the very least we're gonna go get some breakfast. That's a nice day anyways. Go for a drive, get some breakfast, go home. Happy Father's Day. Yeah. This is the reality of drag racing in Alberta most of the time. The rain did not stop. I don't think we're making passes today. Oh well. Well, it has become fairly apparent that the street slicks we're driving on are definitely on the slick side, particularly in the wet. So we are not exceeding about 45 or 50 miles an hour, and we're just taking a nice Sunday drive back home. Because when I tried to exceed the 45 or 50 miles an hour, it didn't feel like it was going to be a good idea.
As we headed back south towards home, the rain kept coming most of the way there. And despite the disappointment of not drag racing, it did still feel like a good shakedown run for the car, which had performed flawlessly all day so far. Now, to be genuine for a second, the transfer of ownership with this car that is basically a family heirloom at this point in time isn't one I've taken lightly. I expect as long as I own it, this vehicle will always feel like my dad's old car. Something we glossed over earlier, that's really another reason to keep it in the family, is the origin of the 440 residing in the engine bay. Prior to being built at Lee Brothers Race Engines, it came as a core from a little shop called Clive's Sales and Service. Now, the young owner of that shop was a fellow called Bill Williams, who a number of years later would become my father-in-law after I married his daughter Heather. Now, we put 100 miles or so on the old Plymouth, and when there was a sunny spot, I took the opportunity to take a few photos of the car in sunshine. I also swapped seats with Dad while attempting to take a few motion shots of the car. However, by then the rain had caught up and spirited driving wasn't really an option without significant risk. So ends the introduction of the latest addition to the Heathen's fleet. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Don't drive boring cars. We will see you next time.
It is good to get you to do all the high performance driving.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
way, if you got a ticket, you're older.
Yeah,
You're less likely to make your court date.
yeah. I remember they said, I think, leave it in drive, you know, when you do your burnouts,
Oh yeah.
so that it can shift normally. Because if you put it in reverse, sometimes your overrunning clutch will pile up.
Okay.
It said if not one time, then the next time.
What style of overrunning clutch is that?
The overrunning clutch?
Yeah, is it like a ratcheting style or what?
Yeah, I
makes it?
kind of looked at little rollers that run up a ramp,
Yeah.
lock up the clutch, and so it can only go one way.
Yeah. I don't know very much about them. I've been trying to learn a little bit. I know there's a few different styles.
I suppose so. I don't know what like you work in this turbo hydro, eh?
Yeah, and even in those, there's a few different styles because they make like the part where the rollers roll.
Yeah.
They make notched ones, and then they make smooth ones, and the ramp works sort of on the outside instead of the inside, and then they make styles that ratchet. I haven't taken one of those apart yet. That Ford transmission that I did has a ratchet in it, and it goes click, 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 click as you go. I don't know how it works yet.